guys, it's Sarah from Just My Typewriter, and today I'm here with my Smith Coronas to talk to you a little bit about the Smith Corona company and the Coronas in my collection. So I started my collection with a Smith Corona. The first typewriter I ever purchased was actually the Smith Corona Corsar Deluxe from the 1960s, Caroline. I bought her on eBay, and then slowly but surely ended up with a whole lot more in my collection. I have in front of me my Corsar Deluxe. I also have an Electra 120, which is an electric Smith Corona typewriter. I have this Classic 12, and I have this Smith Corona Pacemaker. But let's talk a little bit about the Smith Corona company. So the Smith Corona company was started in about 1887 by L.C. Smith and his brother Leroy. They started the Smith Premier Typewriter Company, and in 1907 they released their first typewriter, which was actually called the Model 2. A year later they released the Model 1 because typewriter math. In 1926, the Smith brothers joined up with the Corona Typewriter Company, and they made the Smith Corona Company. Now, between the two of them, the Smith brothers made great desk machines, and the Corona Company made fantastic little portable machines, and that got them through the Great Depression. After World War II, they made the first portable electric typewriter. And as the company moved on, they started to innovate in other ways, including making different ink cartridges with the Coronomatic, and now instead of making typewriters, they make thermal labels. What a thermal label does, I have no idea. Between 1950 and 1962, Corona had the 5 series, which was their most popular series of typewriters. In the 5 series, let's see if I can name them all. They had the Clipper, they had the Sterling, they had the Super, they had the Silent, and they had the Super Silent. And those came in a variety of colors, including sapphire gray, desert sand, alpine blue, coral pink, and seafoam green. Now, these typewriters are often called the best typewriters made. From the 50s and 60s, a lot of people love their 5 series typewriters. And if you talk to a typewriter collector, they're often going to suggest to you to get a Corona to start your collection. They're highly durable machines, they're really easy to work on, they come in a variety of colors, and they're just well built, especially those machines from the 50s and 60s. So, I have a smattering of Corona typewriters here in front of me from about the 1950s and 60s, nothing more beyond that. But the oldest typewriter on this table is probably my Smith Corona Pacemaker, Dame Maggie Smith. Now, I bought this typewriter for $25 in my favorite antique store, the Antique Depot. I saw her on a bottom shelf, and she had to be mine. I brought her home, and I had a lot of trouble dating this machine because there are not a lot of examples of this particular typewriter in the Typewriter Database, which is an online resource where you can check the serial numbers of your machines. To me, the Pacemaker looks a lot like the secretarial typewriter from Smith Corona, but the Secretary has a couple additional features, including some extra tab buttons across the front and an extra inset panel. It also looks suspiciously like some of the electric typewriter designs that they had for offices around that same time. Now, from the 1950s, the next machine I have on here is my Smith Corona Classic 12 from 1964. Now, this machine was gifted to me on my birthday by my mentor. He actually wrote his dissertation on this typewriter and gave it to me when I started my PhD. This typewriter is named Webster. He is a Classic 12. After the 5 series, Smith Corona made the Galaxy series, and all the Galaxy typewriters look very similar to me, and this is that exact same body design, despite not being labeled as a Galaxy machine. Now, this same body design looks pretty similar to the electric machine next to it, and it also was then licensed later to companies like Tower and Sears to make their own typewriters for their companies. From 1964 to 1967, this is my Electra 120. His name is David Henry, and he was also given to me. My grandfather actually wrote his dissertation on this electric typewriter, and it's the typewriter that my mother learned to type on. It is very heavy, but it is a similar body design to the Galaxy typewriters and to my Classic 12. It also has a manual return, which you don't always find on electric typewriters. A lot of people love the Electra 120s. If you're in the typosphere here on YouTube, you might know that Jot and Tittle Typewriters, another YouTube channel, loves the Electra 120. It's one of her favorite typewriters. From 1967, the next typewriter I have on this table is my first typewriter in my collection. This is the Smith Corona Corsar Deluxe Caroline in bright blue. I actually won this typewriter in an eBay auction. It was my first eBay auction. It was my first typewriter in my collection, and I absolutely adore her. In about 1964, Smith Corona wanted to be competing with some of the other typewriter companies to keep up their popularity. They were trying to compete specifically against Japanese brands and Olivetti portables, which were making these super colorful, super lightweight portable machines, and that's how they came up with this Corsar Deluxe design. Now, there are some other typewriters in the Smith Corona arsenal that are this similar body design, including the Cougar, weird name for a typewriter, and the Empire. What's great about this machine is it also has a lid that goes right on top of it, so it is its own case. So that's a little bit about the Smith Coronas in my collection and about the Smith Corona company itself. Again, lots of typewriter collectors are going to suggest to newbies that they get a Corona typewriter. They're just so good. They're solid, they're reliable, again, they're easy to work on. I have had very few repairs on these typewriters compared to the Royal typewriters in my collection. If you're interested in more typewriter content or want to see more of my collection, there are more videos on this YouTube channel. We also have an Instagram at just.my.typewriter. Feel free to DM me about your favorite Smith Corona machines and some new machines that I should be trying to add to my collection, although I should stop trying to add to my collection. I want to thank you so much for watching today and remind you, you're just my typewriter.